And we back with another episode of Textually Active.
This week on Textually Active, with the drop of Kanye West's new documentary, Genius, we're talking about finding your genius.
So a lot of us have genes inside of us, but we're not sure if we've unlocked it. Do we have the support for it? Do people understand our genius?
So tune in right here, right now on Textually Active.
And it might be a few spoilers, but you know it's life. It'll be all right.
Hey, so I see all of y'all sharing y'all products, y'all businesses on your Instagram stories, on Facebook. Why not take out an ad on your favorite podcast and get more listens and more eyes on your product? Textually Active is now offering ads to businesses. All you have to do is send us an email and we'll get back to you about how you can get your ad right here on Textually Active. Send us an email right now at textuallyactivepod@gmail.com. Welcome back to another episode of Textually Active.
Textually Active.
This is your weekly dose of navigating the digital age while dealing with friendships, relationships, and all the ships in between. I'm Rez, and I got Meezy with me.
Yes, sir.
Meezy's on the mic. I got EA on the boards.
You know what it is.
And we're back. How's everybody feeling?
Being in here with you guys has lifted my spirits. But had you asked me this yesterday, I probably would have been like, it's another one of those weeks.
You would have asked us this morning. We'd have like, it's one of those weeks.
You'd have asked me that like yesterday. I'd have been like, it's another one of those weeks. But today, being in here with y'all, and you know, I don't know, the energy's here today.
Yeah.
It's in here. It's in here.
It's good to be around good energy.
Yeah.
You can feel it. You definitely can tell the difference.
Yeah, I don't feel that as much as I did yesterday. Yesterday was sickening.
You know, sometimes, you know, you can have a days on, you got days off.
For me, it's more like minutes. Give me a 30-minute period. That shit might be off. The next 30 minutes, it might be up.
Your mood can't have a 15-minute break, bro.
My mood be on a 8-hour shift.
I was on
with a 20-minute and 2:15.
We was watching Euphoria. Cassie told Rue, just take it one day at a time. I ain't never going to tell nobody to take it one day at a time ever again.
Never, boy.
If you watch Euphoria, you know.
After I ain't never seen Euphoria. I saw that one episode. Hey, Rue ain't had time to take no minute. She ran through the whole LA. Rue was going brace.
She ain't taking it one day at a time.
She is taking it every mile and a half.
No, when she rolled out of the house after they started going up the stairs, she booked it.
Hey. Booked it. I was booking it on the police. Hey, I also need to start an initiative with the police. They need to be in fucking shape because Rue, this drug addict skinny girl, was getting busy on them while going through withdrawals.
Rue was taking off.
What mutt butt?
A stomach virus.
Going crazy.
No.
But squirting, Hershey squirts.
That was not a stomach virus. That was the
whiffies.
Yes, that was the
withdrawals.
You know what I'm saying? That was the Bobby Brown.
Hey, the nigga. No, you know what the nigga said on the timeline? You know what the nigga said on the timeline? Nigga said Zendaya doing her best Demi Lovato.
Dang. Shout out to Demi.
No one said for Black History Month.
Shout out to Demi.
Hey, shout out Demi. That dog food had you sometimes, but she got through it. She got through it.
Make you grind your teeth a little bit.
How you doing, Riz?
I'm glad to be here. Listen, I'm going off for 3 hours of sleep, but I'm up. Woo!
Let's get it, bro.
Gang.
I was up too. I ain't gonna hold you.
You know how we do.
I ain't gonna hold you. I was watching TV and fell asleep through it all this morning. I went to bed about 6:30 this morning. I was off today, so you know how life goes.
Sometimes you just gotta slide off that 3 hours of sleep and get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Every day.
Shout out to everybody that's a night owl that can't go to bed at night,
right? And
then can't sleep during the day.
And be talking to me on the timeline because you know I'm up.
You know the friends that be up. Yeah. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no BS. If you have an idea, you need to kind of work it out. And 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hey.
I can count on Meezy.
Meezy's
I'm up, bro, because I'm up working on some bullshit myself. I was up yesterday trying to figure out how to put subtitles on reels and couldn't figure that shit out. Adobe Premiere is hard as fuck.
Dog, if you don't act like, nah, it's cool.
We can address it here before we get started. why I didn't come to you about it was because I wanted to learn how to do it myself. So that when I then did it, you can be like, oh, you know how to do it. And I can be like, yeah.
I did peep it. I peeped it.
All right. That was it. That was why.
No, I was very, I'm happy.
It took me like 3 days, but.
Listen, the first one, it took me about 3 days. Okay?
That's why.
Okay.
I wanted to come in. I wanted to bring value and not take value.
But no, that's fair. Yeah, and I appreciate that.
That's where I'm at.
But the value I'm about to give you is that I'm about to put you onto something. And you're gonna be like, dog, this is gonna take away all the work from you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And you're gonna be like, holy shit.
Yeah, but all the videos.
But next time, I don't give a shit. You call me first.
I mean, it's 3:00 in the morning. I don't think you.
I mean, I would have been asleep.
Yeah, he was asleep.
Yeah,
because I definitely had to do
Yeah, you had to
talk that shit. Talk that shit.
I had to facilitate.
Talk that shit. My boy out here doing panels and shit, seminars for niggas. We up. It's still Black Future Month. We going into the whole year. It's about to be Black Future Year, and we talking all that big shit about all of us. And we gonna talk about this later. But we in here and we up. Fuck that shit.
Before we get into,
we done switch sides. This how futuristic we are.
Yeah. Before we get into it though, let's get into the trending topics for the week. Let's jump into the text
because
thread.
there's some shit we need to talk about.
It's just a little bit. It's something we got to touch on.
It's the text thread, baby.
All right, so let's just get it started. You know, Netflix is coming out hot. They dropped Love is Blind 2. I don't know if you guys have been watching that. I've been watching it. But they've also announced that they're bringing back Dave Chappelle. Some of y'all are up in arms about it because Dave Chappelle's last special had the Alphabet Girls up in a frenzy. Okay. I
mean, they had to.
Anybody who brings out that much chaos, you know, they want somebody that's going to be talked about. So they got Dave Chappelle back.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. This time it's not Dave being Dave. It's Dave giving his platform to other comedians. I think one of the names I saw in the announcement is Earthquake. You know, Earthquake been around. Earthquake been around my entire life. I've been watching Earthquake on Comic View, all the shit that we know for Black culture, Def Comedy Jam. Earthquake done did it. So it's Dave doing a series, I think it's called Dave's Home or Dave's Friends, something like that. You know, we don't fact check. But he giving this opportunity to comics that he think deserve to have this platform, and I fuck with it because
do we have?
I like it.
So you may have just said it, but I was like not paying attention. So sorry. Did he announce some of the people that he's looking to do?
All the names I've seen so far, this announcement has been Earthquake. It's probably all the people you see around Dave or the comedians that you love that people don't talk about that much.
You expect to see like Donnell Rollins probably.
Maybe, Donnell, Earthquake, maybe Cypher Sound, shout out Cypher Sound. Like just people that's around Dave that's doing good shit that don't ever get this big platform like Dave. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, good for him.
It's probably going to be a bunch of Black people, too, because you know how Dave is. Dave be with the Blacks. Going brazen.
Dave is bringing it. I'm ready to see it. I love it when they give a platform to other comedians so that we can see what they got going on. We could laugh with them. We could be introduced to new people. And
it ain't even got to be new people. I think it's a lot of people that never got their chance. Because I think comedy is one of those things where if you don't pop right then and there with comedy, you gonna be a funny guy to us. But now in 2022, if you ain't on TikTok doing reels and Twitter videos and loyalty diamond tester videos,
if you ain't on Wildin' Out, you might not be funny.
Exactly.
If you haven't been invited to interview for Wildin' Out, you might not be funny.
If you ain't never been on Wildin' Out, you might be funny.
Yo,
speaking of Wildin' Out, I'm sorry. Go ahead, honey.
I really want to get into Wildin' Out first.
Have you heard that Nick Cannon trying to get his bitch back?
He's supposed to.
Okay. It's obviously Valentine's Day just passed. A lot of people trying to get your bitch back.
Supposed to.
Even on About Elementary, old boy trying to get with old girl.
But he been trying to do that the whole series. Sorry, that's a spoiler. If you ain't watch Abbott Elementary, you just not Black and don't support Black people.
But Wildin' Out, what were you gonna say?
My thing is, I remember distinctly a long time ago when it first came out, people thought that Wildin' Out was corny. I remember that. I remember people were like, they were not feeling it, all that stuff like that. But you think about it, if you look at the track record, like They ain't miss.
I want to argue that I think when A Wild 'N Out first came on, we all thought this was incredible because it came out the same time as Chappelle, so it was like, oh, this is just as funny. I remember that, but then it did so many seasons in the middle with the change of culture that we was like, all right, we not watching this just as much. Because MTV had us in a chokehold. Like, Viacom had us in a chokehold. We was watching Making the Band and then Wildin' Out. And then we'd switch over to Comedy Central to watch Chappelle. They had us in a chokehold for a really long time. And so I think it was corny from the beginning, and then as it ran through its season, it's like, all right, what can you do? And then it made its resurgence because of Nick Cannon bringing the new comedians or the people we see on our timelines in and doing jokes like that. But it only built his brand, and I think Nick Cannon is at a point in his career he's supposed to want Mariah back, because I just saw a video of Mariah singing "We Belong Together" on the timeline, a little orchestrated Valentine's clip for the timeline, and let me tell you, I put Mariah through a mattress.
Oh my gosh.
I put Mariah through a mattress.
Speaking of black men and black people in entertainment, we got Dave Chappelle with his show, Nick Cannon with Wildin' Out. Charlamagne the God got renewed for a second season of his show, The God's Honest Truth.
Shout out Charlamagne. I mean,
getting the bag.
Yeah, he
the show was funny too.
I'll be honest, I don't watch it, but I also think Comedy Central has put it in a weird time spot for black people. It's like Fridays at 11. Like, niggas, if we outside, this is outside at those times.
It may not be for our age group,
but I think he did.
And we don't got cable, so it ain't like I DVR'd it.
But I think he.
We gotta watch it on Hulu,
on YouTube though. I think the episodes are popping up on YouTube.
I think Comedy Central does a poor job of promoting what they got going on.
I think it's that legacy stuff, man. It's like they spend all that money to have dedicated channels and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like I don't think they want to be, they need it to work because it's like it's been working for so.
Because I think Viacom is not Paramount. We got that announcement last week that Paramount is Paramount Plus is now Viacom, and I think that
did Viacom already own Paramount?
I think it's the same company. And so the Viacom shows is on Paramount. So when I say Viacom, I mean BT, right. VH1, Comedy Central, so MTV.
BT Plus going away?
No, it's still BT Plus. But I think Viacom's, the white version of Viacom, which is also CBS, is Paramount Plus. And all of these, like South Park, the late shows, all of this shit is on Paramount Plus.
No, that doesn't make any sense because CBS is owned by Comcast.
I don't know about that. I think it's all one thing.
It's getting to the point where
you need
MSN EA here.
You need a bunch of money to spend.
You might as well just get cable.
You might as well get cable.
As you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the little ticker tape going across, seeing all the crypto because I'm like, I know all this stuff.
But then they got another show coming out on Peacock, Fresh Prince.
Peacock is up. Peacock is up. I'm watching it when I leave here. Yeah, I do.
We're going to need to talk offline about the
You got to talk to Jazz. That ain't my...
Yeah, I'm the broker, though, so I'm going to talk to Jazz about that.
You got to talk to...
It sounds like we're going over to their house after this.
Yeah.
Probably. It's a little dirty, but whatever.
we don't care. We like it when it stink a little bit.
It might stink a lot. We ain't been home. This is like... We've been gone for...
Yo, that's like money over there.
You know what I'm saying? We doing what we doing, but
right.
It's been rough over there.
So the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, did you get a chance to watch the first episode?
When I leave here, this is when I'm starting it.
Okay. So basically what they're doing is they're taking the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and they're turning it into a reality, like drama.
Dramatic version of Fresh Prince.
And they got Meek Mill playing in the background because what's Philadelphia without Meek Mill playing in the background?
They said a soundtrack to this. I've been looking at the timeline. My timeline has watched it. The timeline says that the music selections in this they haven't missed. It's been really, really good.
Yes, that's what I love to hear.
I've also heard the critiques of like, I can't take this serious because Uncle Phil not fat. That's what I heard. Like I've heard.
Come on now.
But let's keep it a buck.
And on top of that, he's an alpha.
Yeah.
In the show.
Well, that's your personal thing. That's your vendetta. But let's be clear. Like, is there a fat phobia? Like, why isn't he fat? You could have just found a fat black guy to be that guy. Like, if Rick Ross can be the drug lord of Miami, you could find a fat black guy.
So is Bel Air too sexy? Is that what I'm hearing?
Maybe because the comments on Coco Jones playing Hillary out of this here. Hey, Coco Jones. I don't know Coco Jones for being an R&B singer, but Coco Jones might be out of here now for that. Because them niggas in it, like, hey, you gotta see Hillary. Like, she going crazy.
Okay. All right, I'm ready to see it. That's something I'm definitely going to be tuning into to watch. What else do we got on our trending topics?
Danny Lee brother out here was wilding. You all saw the footage of him in the bowling alley getting the beats put on him.
What was that?
Getting the beats put on him.
They jumped him.
I feel like this is his only chance. He knew, like, oh, me and him, I know where he's going to be today. Let me go talk to him. And as black people, conversations don't lead up to let me talk to you. It leads to I'm trying to talk to you and somebody doesn't take
Some
it.
people like to talk with their hands. And that's the problem.
I just want to know, did he put on bowling shoes first?
I don't think this was a well executed or planned out plan.
Name a time you went to the bowling alley with a group of blacks and they put on them bowling shoes.
So
that's a fair point.
Okay.
So for me, all the time, I didn't know not wearing the bowling shoes was a thing.
That's cool.
Same.
I saw this video the other day of these black people at the bowling alley, and the niggas on the lanes with Jordan 1s on, and I'm like, how did he get that? Because them niggas do not let you pay for the lane without giving you the shoes.
And they only came in a size 9.
So I'm like, I didn't know not wearing bowling shoes was a thing
kids
now.
Don't wear the bowling shoes.
I'm learning that. I'm learning that. They just give them to you and you put them down on the floor. I'm learning that. I didn't know. So I don't think this was a well executed plan.
No. So the brother is suing.
You need more people.
Right. He probably should not have never went there solo.
No.
I feel like even because you Danny Lay, she's what letter I want to give her. A E-list celebrity.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
So you saying that she could roll by here and we were like, oh, what's up, Danny?
I feel like if we saw Danny Lay in a Walmart, pun, we wouldn't know it was Danny Lay.
Nice callback.
Wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know that was Danny Lay in a Walmart. She light skinned. She look like all the Instagram models. I would not know. I'd be like, that bitch fine, but that's it.
Is it laziness? Because I haven't even Googled her yet.
I don't know what she looks like enough to be able to.
She's a yellow bone. You know?
Yeah.
That's out. That's it.
It's the problem is that they're going to have to interact with each other based on this baby.
And I don't think this lawsuit helps. Suing your nephew's father doesn't help, but the baby lawyer say, hey, man, this is a money grab.
I was going to say, it's kind of like a toxic text alert right here. Right? Imagine if the baby recreated I Get Money and he redoes the sign the check before the baby come. That'd be fire. I want to say that.
I mean, that baby's here, but I feel like at this point, you gotta make this interesting. Like, that's your baby mama now.
Yeah.
And they've been trying to cancel the baby, but every time I turn around,
he on another feature.
He got another feature. He got another
song.
single.
They play him on the radio here like it's nobody's business. Every time I turn on the radio, let's go.
So is Tori. But
same thing for Tori.
But I feel like at this point you just we gotta uplift each other. We gotta go hand in hand. Like, listen, we might not work out, but maybe musically it works for us. And so then your brother don't have to run down on me there, and I don't have to pay him for him wanting to fight me. So I feel like there's a bag that could help. Like, help her brother get up. I don't know what he's trying to do with his life. It clearly looks like this is a money grab.
Yeah.
So help him. You know what I'm saying? Help her, help him.
Just had a conversation at Thanksgiving like normal.
I don't feel like you needed. I feel like he thought this is the only shot he can get close to the baby, so he tried it. But I feel like you could probably be there with your sister one day during the baby exchange.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
simple.
Like, shout out, like, Shout out to the last thing on our text alert this week I want to talk about, because we just talked about Nick trying to get Mariah back. Get Your Bitch Back season is in full effect after Valentine's Day. Shout out to Miguel and his ex. They are now back together. Miguel and his girl are back together.
Good.
They're about to get married. They didn't tell us shit. They just told us they was broke up. They didn't show us that they was broke up. They didn't show us them do a weekly Instagram video of them trying to reconcile. They broke up. We knew they broke up. They back together. They showed us the bad day. You don't gotta show us everything in between.
Kanye West.
Danny Lay brother. You don't gotta show us in between. You can just show
Leave us out of it and just show us y'all getting back together.
And we gonna praise it.
That's a part of the reason why I don't like to be in between married people business or people who I don't like being in between anybody's disagreement with their spouse, because y'all 9 times out of 10 gonna get back together.
Exactly.
And then I done got jumped at the bowling alley for no reason, and I'm still looking at him sideways every time he come
pick the baby up.
Right. Like, no, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
And I'll give this piece of advice out there to the listeners. Don't jump in between nobody's relationship. Stay out of it.
Please.
Mind your business.
Please.
Keep your mouth shut.
Because she still love him a little bit.
Because you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna go back to that person and say, when they make up, Rez had the most shit to say about you.
Now you the friend on the outside.
Yeah, she had the most shit to say about you. She said that you would say that. Like, no,
now
you're not doing that.
Like, the brother got live, he got jumped at a bowling alley. That's not going away. It's 2022. That's on the internet.
He got his hair
it's
pulled.
there forever.
He got his hair pulled.
Like, I just started watching.
That says a lot.
I just, because V, and we ain't gonna say why, but I started watching Joe Rogan call out Carlos Mencia for stealing jokes. And this happened in 2005. It's still on the internet. The baby beating you up at a bowling alley is gonna live forever.
Yep.
Like,
that's a family heirloom now.
Yeah, you gotta pass that down. You gotta explain to your nephew what happened at this bowling alley with his daddy.
You remember
her daddy?
I don't know why, but I was watching How High a couple of weeks ago. And you remember it was like the assistant pimps. Like, now that's him for the rest of his life.
Like, you gotta explain.
Your granddaddy been getting slapped.
You gotta explain to your niece why her daddy beat you up, because there's film, and them kids at school are gonna tease her.
Right. Do we have anything else for the text?
That's it. I think everything been cool. Kanye, you gotta relax a little bit. Skeet is not as witty and creative as you think it is. I did read an article about him, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, he's been calling the kid Skeet?
No, that's Pete's new name. He's calling Pete Skeet.
Pete Skeet.
Yeah, Kanye, those are his kids, so he's not gonna disrespect his own kids.
Okay.
He's been letting Pete know you're not finna be around these kids.
Okay.
And so I think you gotta relax a little bit, let the lawyers deal with this, calm down a little bit. I saw a part of the case on Baller Alert that says Kanye is not trying to get with this divorce, but he's also trying to save some of his assets.
I understand.
So you gotta relax. But I
should have been doing that beforehand.
Shout out to the Rams for winning the Super Bowl. We didn't talk about that because it happened. It happened before after we recorded. But shout out to them. Shout out to my boy Odell. Streets is okay. Super Bowl out here. Kodak get going soon. I know y'all shot, but you still putting that album out this Friday. So shit
like
up.
You feeling peachy?
Look like
super green. Super green.
Nah,
peachy.
I see that.
You see what I did?
That's good. That's good.
All right, we'll be back with our group discussion. Is it not group discussion?
It's just a textual discussion.
Our text thread discussion, or discussion on the text thread.
Have you worked here before?
This is my first time.
Like, we just did the text thread. The next one is our discussion.
Our discussion. We'll be back with our discussion. I swear I go here.
You need promotion and visibility for your product? Why not do it right here on Textually Active? It's a space right here that you can add to. If you got a podcast, a book club, a vinyl, a candle set, whatever it is you do, we might need some lashes. You can promote your product right here on Textually Active. Be sure to click the link wherever you're listening to this to, and you can get more information there. Promote your stuff right here with Textually Active.
All right, so let's get into our discussion for this week. We are continuing Black History Month. Y'all know y'all listening to Black History right here and right now.
Black Future Month.
Black
Black
Future.
Future. We gotta start supporting Black Future. He said that, and not too many people, like we as a culture, haven't grabbed that. I said that a couple weeks ago. We haven't grasped onto that, but we probably need to start thinking. We keep yelling generational wealth, Black Future year, or Black. I feel like
So
he
explain
said
to us
month.
again what Black Future year, Black Future means to you.
When I heard it, I
does it
figured that instead of history, because that shit has already happened, we need to start celebrating for the future. Black Future Month. All that shit done happened. We understand that concept, but this motherfuckers just doing it now, right here, right now. And when you do it right here, right now, it sets you up for the future.
Right.
Like, we can celebrate them, our ancestors and all that. We respect them, appreciate everything you did that led to open this door. But right now, it's about us building our shit, even if that means we got to tear down Teflon, which I'm not really upset about. But, like, we got to talk about now and in the present for us to move forward and be future, and our kids be something generational. All the buzzwords the niggas on the timeline said, generational wealth, raising kids right, all that bullshit.
So I don't know about you, but in the midst of everything going on with Kanye, a documentary dropped on Netflix called Jeen-Yuhs. And the first part of it is a 3-part series, Vision dropped. And I watched it because, I mean, it's Kanye West.
Culture.
I wanted to see it.
Culture.
I'm a part of the culture. I want to see the culture.
Black people love culture.
And it got us thinking about what it means. It motivated me in a different way, but what it means to find your genius.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
And see how we align with, how our vision aligns with what it means for Black Future.
See what you did there.
Black Future.
I just wanna stunt for a little bit.
Go ahead.
I mean, this came out last week, like 2 weeks ago, but I've seen it for a month. Like, I'm privy to shit like this. I want to say that just so
You already
people
saw it?
I saw it in January. Like, Jazz got mad because I watched it without her. Like, I've seen it already.
Our cultural correspondent.
You know what I'm saying? I'm out here.
Fields.
I'm out here. If you need some shit sometimes and you think I think I know, just hit me. I'm out here. And when I watched it, I thought it was very inspirational because I wanted to see it unbiased. Because in our culture now, it's hard to watch something and then go to the timeline with it. Because if you haven't seen it, that's the talk of the timeline. So I wanted to see it first before I could be like judging it.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I was like, this is crazy. And then I was like, I feel like I need to do something right now. Like I need to get up, get into my bag right here, right now. Because it was just like this. The person that we know now that is Kanye West, it's always been that person.
Right.
And it's hard to like, even with the antics that the slavery is a choice, wearing the red hat, being with Donald Trump, stalking your ex-wife, like all of that antics is like,
Beefing with Drake.
like all of this stuff is like, it was in the DNA then. It just wasn't. Like, it's just magnified now because of the level of success he's gotten to. And I'm like, inspired by like knowing that if you be yourself this entire ride, you can do it as yourself. So I felt like that was really cool to see from this first episode. So
the documentary started back in 1998.
Back.
With him, with the Harlem World guys.
Just being in the room.
And Cootie, I think his name was Cootie, was recording.
Shout out Cootie.
And he decided that he just wanted to do a documentary on Kanye West.
Yeah.
And Kanye West, you know, he started off as a producer, but one thing that I didn't know that I learned from the documentary, and we didn't say this earlier, but spoiler alert, was that he had already made it as a producer before he jumped into rapping. Like, he was very successful, but he still had that hunger to make it to the next level. Because some people get to that level and they're like, oh, well, I made it by society's standards. Like, I'm good. I'm just going to sit here and continue to ride this wave until it's over. He's like, no, it's not enough. And you see it throughout the documentary, like he's good, but he still has that hustle about him where he's showing up to the record label, playing his music for the A&Rs or going into the office, being disruptive and talking to people about him rapping. And then towards the end, going and to different record labels and trying to get signed there so that The Rock could see his value. And it's just like those different things. Like, dang, Kanye, like you didn't stop when you could have just been like, all right, I'm
content.
cool.
I'm content.
I'm cool.
And I think a part of what you just skipped over, you didn't mean to because you was going through it. But a part of that is you missed while telling Cootie's story. Like at the beginning, they get into Cootie's story just a little bit. Cootie was a comedian. He was a stand-up comedian, like trying to be like tell jokes and be this guy. And somebody was like, "Hey, Cootie, I think you should be a host." And so then he started hosting a show that had him interview Chicago artists.
He was Chicago flat.
Yeah, like that is nuts. He wasn't getting niggas to tell on themselves. He was more like it was the Chicago rap basement. Yeah, it was the Chicago rap city. He was interviewing people. If you old enough, maybe Video Music Box, because that's a good documentary.
When he called Bow Wow a girl.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Because I was sitting there like, Bow Wow look like a little girl. He said, she is so pretty. It's a nigga.
So it was him pivoting from comedian to host and then going, you know what? Maybe I need to be a documentary because it's something that I've seen that's happening in our city that we may not ever see again, and I'm here close enough to it to capture that. And I think that's what happens with a lot of us sometimes. We be afraid to pivot. Like, niggas will come to you and say, hey, I think you good at A, B, and C, but yet you be like, I'm okay. And you don't know, like, now is the time to pivot. Like, Kanye could have been producer Kanye West.
Yeah.
But him having this fight and knowing, like, no, I'm much more than just a producer. The niggas say in there, I'm letting niggas live out their dreams. I'm giving them the tool to live out their dreams. I already know my shit good if I'm helping other niggas. And I think that is important for a lot of us that we don't realize sometimes when it comes to, you know, achieving our dreams and achieving our goals. You got to be able to, even if you good at what you do, I got to pivot and do something else that might be a little bit harder and struggle a little bit more than where you at financially, or what are you at successfully? Like, what your dream is? Because if a motherfucker said they wanted to be a podcast, you can go to Guitar Center right now, go get mics and do all of that. But if you think you can be something and take that mic and be something to help everybody else, you got to know that in your brain before you do it.
He tells us all the time he started this podcast because he wasn't about to sit behind this, or no, he started his business because he wasn't going to let anybody else's dream affect his.
Yeah.
And I think that is inspirational.
Oh, I should remember.
Within his own. No, like, for real, you tell us often, most times when you're trying to straighten us out, when we need a little bit of straightening, you be like,
I'm still offset here. You know, I'm offset.
I'm take off.
I'm off the
take off.
I'm off. You will. Yeah, that's a great name for you.
But no, when you sit down and you're like, what do I want to do? How can I reach my goals? There are certain obstacles that you have to go through. And I do like how Cootie saw the vision and he's like, all right, well, I see what this could be. And even through Kanye's journey, like, he saw the vision for himself and he didn't give up. He kept going.
How do you feel about taking chances? Because when I watched this and then put myself in Cootie's like position, I don't know myself that I am mentally stable enough to be like, I see the vision, I want to be a part of it.
It's a no for me. I will support from the sidelines. I'm always the one like, yeah, go after it, go get it. But when it come to me, dog, like jumping out the window,
I don't know if I would have jumped.
I'm like
Kanye, like,
I'm testing the airbag before it go out. Like, I'm testing the parachute. I want to make sure that I got all my snacks in my book bag.
I mean, the question really is that was Kanye like, giving him a little cash or something like that when he was, because like one thing is like, it's not like he has a regular 9 to 5 and you follow him with a camera, right? So it's like, unless he's, he can't work a regular job if he's gonna be making sure that he's recording all the time. So
but it is even further than just security, like how do you know this ain't a waste of time?
Right.
Like, how do you see that vision for somebody else?
Right.
That's the thing but they believed in more than just Kanye. They believed in Chicago.
Right.
And that was the part that I feel like that kept being kind of like grazed over.
Like, he met Kanye at that Jermaine Dupri party where Kanye's just worked on Harlem World. If you can name me anybody else, name me anybody else in my Harlem World besides Mace.
I mean, I just thought that was Mace's album.
Okay. So if you say that, name me the single off Harlem World.
Is it Love and Carriage on there? No,
I'm not sure.
No. I think it's right after.
I ain't got nothing.
Mace was the hottest nigga in the world at that time, and it's some nigga from your hometown that's on that album. I don't really know if there's something I can believe in to be like, you know what, I'm gonna follow this nigga for the next however long.
I mean, but there's a mix of stuff though. My thing is like, you don't understand, like, you gotta look at it like it's back in '98.
Yeah.
Right. So the internet ain't really out yet. Like, we don't have access to stuff. Right. And they already felt like that they were behind because people only got picked up in New York, LA, and Atlanta.
Yep.
So for them, it was like, they talked to, you kind of seen it because it was like going through all these different rappers and stuff like that, saying like they have what it takes, right? And the fact that you have somebody who's from there who had a platinum plaque, like already.
Because I think they talked about it was niggas in their city. Common was on. Do or Die was on.
The Brat was from Chicago.
The Brat's from Chicago.
Twista.
Yeah,
Twista. Like, there was people that was on, and like, it's possible you've seen it, but like. I
think he was inspired by the way that Kanye just kept going.
Yeah,
and like he
sorry, got my phone.
He had beats. He was
like,
from
you
his
don't
city.
really know this nigga enough, but once you sit down and talk to him, you like, no, this nigga got it.
And he moved to New York, and then the next time he seen him, he was at the award show.
Yeah,
so he saw him.
They premiered the song Izzo.
Yeah.
Right. And he was like, I heard this beat. I knew, like, Kanye, it's one of the first beats that Kanye showed me.
Right.
And that's when he decided to go.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild for you to be like, I mean, it's a nigga in the game. So it's like, okay, here's a chance here. But I think my issue, a lot of the things for me that hit home for me is to see a dream and believe in that dream. Like, Kanye has owned at that time. If you like, it's a bunch of niggas in '98, a bunch of niggas from that whole decade. You take '99 to 2009, it's a bunch of niggas that's got beats on albums that you never heard from again.
One thing is, like, I grew up understanding that when he got to Newark, that's when it started.
So so knowing that a nigga got a beat from your hometown on an album that is important to somebody. Like, to see that and then be like, you know what, I'm gonna follow him. It's crazy to me. That's crazy. Because not only do you believe in his dream, you also believe that he can do it. Like you can do it because he can do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's inspiring on both parts. Like, not only are you supporting a nigga by saying, look, I'll film you. I want to see your journey because I know you got it. But it's also knowing in yourself, like,
can we talk about...
I can do this and do it too.
Can we talk about the role his mother played in...
Because a lot of niggas
his inspiration.
A lot of niggas don't have this kind of support.
Yeah.
A lot of niggas don't come from households where people see your dreams and think, hey, okay, let's do it. Unless it's, playing a sport, like playing ball. Like, of course, if you love basketball, you play basketball, your dad gonna take you to the gym. He'll take you, if you fortunate enough, you're gonna go have these coaches and do all this. They gonna do that if you have a father in the house or a mother. Sometimes a mother, we saw with Jace on fucking, what was the Apple TV show? I don't even remember the name.
Swagger.
Yeah. Like, his mom believed in him and his talent, and she was willing to do whatever she could for that dream.
Yeah.
But like,
she was giving Monet vibes from
she,
Ghosts.
I do believe she caught a body at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
But
For
like,
sure.
it's usually only sports that motherfuckers get that kind of support from. It's hard to be in an art or be an artist, do music. Like if you told your dad at 16 you wanted to be a rapper.
Man, I don't know how that would have went.
Like,
like, that's cute. Go to school.
like, you know what I'm saying? And like Kanye.
I can't imagine. I know how your dad laughs, and I can hear that when you say that, and that would make me crawl into a hole, bro.
like I even looking at my life, like to this day, I'll be honest, I ain't never seen her post TA on her timeline.
Who?
My mom, like, you don't be on her Facebook page.
Right.
Every picture I post, she'll steal that one and put it on there. But it's like, I also do this too.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I do this too. So if I had told her at 16, like, Mom, I want to be a rapper, I think it would have took for me making it as a rapper to understand that I made it as a rapper.
Right.
But this nigga mom, like Kanye mama was like there. She knew raps from when he was just in the room rapping. Yeah, like that's something that a lot of kids don't see and they don't understand. Like that kind of support.
I think it takes a level of selflessness to be a parent like that, to take yourself out of your child's dreams and your fears out of your child's dreams, because as adults, we know what it's like. Like as a child, you don't know how much work it takes. And I think as an adult, it's our job to, steer the way, but also allow them to have the time to figure out what it means to pursue that dream without shutting it down before they actually get a chance to chase after it.
Because I think a lot of us didn't know what we loved.
Yeah.
And if we did know what we love, a lot of us didn't ever get to pursue it because A, it either cost a lot, B, they didn't think it was something that would be lucrative that helped you in the future. Like, the funniest, like, what's the shit? The stereotype is people that go to school for art degrees, went to school for art degrees and didn't do nothing with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I loved what I did. And so I love what I did. And a lot of times you don't get that kind of support, like at that age. And even Kanye mama being a professor at a college, never like talked to him about like, sir, you dropped out. Like she never like went that route. She was more so like, oh, you enjoy what you do it.
I think support is
and the fact that she connected him with someone who was a student of hers,
right?
That was within that space, and it was like, hey, I just bought my son some stuff, and he needs to be around.
Yeah,
support plays a big role.
It's crazy
support
because
can make or break your dream.
Because I feel like I think our parents put us in a bunch of activities as a child that we did it because we thought it was cool at the time, but we ain't never loved
It's
that
like
shit.
throwing darts. It's something going to stick.
Yeah, and
if you keep throwing them.
And for me, it never sticked. Like I remember one time, I tell the story all the time. My mama asked me one summer, it may be middle school, like it might be 7th or 8th grade. She was like, "Hey, do you want to play basketball this summer, or do you want to go to Carowinds this summer?" And I was like, I love basketball. Like I love the sport of basketball. I knew I wasn't like good because I also have anxiety issues that I didn't realize as a child. But I like basketball. It's cool. But also I was also realizing that I don't like waking up on Saturdays to go play basketball for an hour and then come home. And so I was like, yeah, this is my out. I don't have to do this no more. If I choose this now, I might not have to give up another Saturday. So I picked Carowinds. Let me tell you how much of a support system that I had. I ended up going to Carowinds and playing basketball that summer. And for no reason.
You did both.
I did both for no reason. It's like I didn't want to play basketball. Like I didn't want to do this. They thought they was good for me. And I was like, I was trying to tell you that this is not what I want.
I just wanted to go to Carowinds.
I did. Like, give me that one Saturday and then I can figure out what I like with the rest of the Saturdays. But parents are like that, bro. Like some parents are like that because I feel like a lot of parents didn't.
Or did you mishear her? Did she say, do you want to go to Carowinds this Saturday or do you want to go to basketball practice?
No, it was literally or. I remember or. Because I chose that purposefully. Did not work because they thought it was good for me. I was like,
I think the other piece to that is she may have heard you say no, but still wanted to push you to do something.
Yeah, but it's that it don't work like that. And I think like as a non-parent, just
we're not parents.
We're not parents, but like reliving that, like
I'm
about to be an uncle, so I'm about to be Uncle
congratulations, just about to be an uncle.
Yeah, Streets is out here talking. Yeah, I'm about to be Uncle Meezy is enrolled. So, like, that is probably
congratulations. Sis.
Thank you. Like, that's what I would.
Meezy.
I'm taking those. Okay. But like, that's what I would like. You never. Like, I don't think they never got to live daydreams, I guess. And so they just knew being an adult meant stability. So if you work at a fucking factory for 35 years and you can afford to give your kids something you never had, that was good enough.
How do you feel about, this is random, but how do you feel about having your child work?
So I think it goes, I see both sides of this coin. I
don't. But I want you to hear. I want to hear your part.
So all I can talk about is from my experience. So what I can remember was that when I was 16, I got a job. Like my mom was very adamant. Like you gonna go get a job. You gonna go get a job so you can pay insurance, so you can pay for this. You can drive this car that I paid for you, like I bought for you, and that makes sense to me. But one day I remember being in a marketing class where I did very well in, and the teacher was like, hey, I got this connection at the local news station. They need like interns for sports, like sports things, because I did really good in the sports marketing class. And I remember I had to turn it down because I worked after school. I had to go to work after school.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did you ask your mom about it? Did you talk to your mom about it?
Yeah.
Or did you decline it?
I brought it home. He gave me the number. I put it in my pocket. I took it home and I said it. And her response to me was, "What? Well, what about going to work?"
Man.
Now, at 31,
yeah, I get it.
This is my life. Like,
I get it.
This is my life. I could have had a head start then, but because my parents didn't,
we don't know because you never got a chance to do it.
Yeah.
My parents thought that this is what life was, stability was.
Yeah.
And I somehow still turned around and made it back to what I thought, but I could have had a head start.
Right.
So I felt like I see both sides, but it's also like, damn, what if? There's a lot of what ifs in it. Like,
so my thing is, I agree to everything that happened, right? But when an opportunity arises that may put you into a different situation, like an opportunity like that, you got to go for it.
That's like taking a flight to New York, like Cootie did. That's what that situation.
But you also gotta realize I was 16 making $850 in 2008.
Yeah, money. You getting that cheddar.
I was 16.
Getting paid.
Mind you, minimum wage is still $7.25. I was
$6.
I was 16 making $8.55.
Yeah, money.
So I even worked extra. So I had a real part. I had
an exempt on his.
I had a real. Technically, in today's standards, I had a real full-time job. Like, I was only scheduled for 24, but we would work the overtime to do it. So I was working like 30 hours a week. Yeah. So, like, you know what I'm saying? At 16, like, my Saturdays, I go in early at 6 in the morning and get off at 9. Like, the girlfriend that I had was at work with me. So I didn't have to, like, need that time to go be with my girlfriend because she was at work with us.
I think, for me, if I can have the opportunity for them not to have to work so they can explore other avenues, I would love to be able to say, you don't have to go to work. You can explore art. You can explore sports. You can explore whatever. Because I feel like the work does build responsibilities, but there are other things you can do to find out what those responsibilities are.
Right.
And you have so much time to work. Like, after you turn...
A lot of niggas gonna have to work for the rest of your life. Right? Yeah.
He done leaned up and everything. After you turn a certain age, after you graduate college, the work is your life.
Right.
Like, if you can spend a little bit of extra time not having to work, I'm with it.
Yeah.
So, I am not going to discount what you said. Right, but at the end of the day, like,
you was doing that last week. You was giving her hell last week.
I was
giving me hell. Yeah,
Still looking for that PS5.
Still looking for it. Ain't coming.
I don't know which one of y'all like said that was my burner account.
That was Texas actually found that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's actually active. I got something for you. No, so my main thing is that there's a responsibility that you like. I feel like that like a child should learn. Like they need to understand the value of money, right? And they need to be able to do it as quickly as possible because schools do not teach it, right? And they do not prepare students for life, right? And I think as a parent, you have an obligation to get that instilled in them as early as possible, right? So
my paycheck.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because you said when I was talking, you said you still claim exact. I still don't know how to fill that paper out right.
Yeah, that's fine. I definitely.
The W2.
That motherfucker say 0 here, go to the bottom. I still be. I don't know.
I tried to fill it out married. I was like, can I talk to somebody before I fill this out? What do I have to do?
I'm confused.
That's funny.
Did I sign my name right?
No, but I honestly like I get it. Like you want your child to have as much opportunity and experience as possible. But my main thing is like if you are gonna do something that is gonna be like a solo type of thing, like art or like music or something like that, right? There has to be a component of like how are you planning on like making money to survive?
Yeah,
right. Because at the end of the day, like you are not a charity case, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to know how to survive on your own. And
I also have, and then like we are sitting here and we also got to think that we are now in a Black Future Month. So we are definitely in a different time now. Like this nigga being at home rapper back in his day probably cost him $2,000 to be able to be at home doing that, and he ain't had the money, so it's really like Christmas gifts and the money he saved. He went and did that with that money. But now I feel like, for $2,000 you get the whole thing for $2,000, and as a kid now you can start off like that. Right. Like you can start off with shitty equipment first and then work your way up to good equipment, and today say I'm just finishing my rap song I think is really good and it's on DSPs next week. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's a different time.
Like my thing is like, and especially when you're talking about different times, like it's way easier for people to monetize their talents. Okay. Right. So my main thing is like I sit here and say like, yeah, you need to work, but if our child decides to find out how to
money launder like Ozark,
no, not like Ozark. That's clearly all right. I'm gonna have
I mean,
we're gonna have to have a conversation. we're gonna have to have a conversation.
Wow.
You need to go to
I might be supportive of this.
Okay.
If you can figure this out, that means you smart enough to figure out some other shit.
I was gonna say if he can get into crypto or something like that and is making his own money that way.
These niggas. Here go these fucking entrepreneurs.
Next week we're gonna come back and talk about money because we need to figure out what we're doing with our money.
I'm for the crypto niggas to explain to me this metaverse shit.
But my thing is like at the end of the day, like I feel like that our child is gonna have access to stuff that we never did. And is going to understand stuff that we never could, right? And if they're
going to understand that belt.
You understood that. I know. The Resurist.
No, she didn't.
The Resurist understood the belt. She still did what she did, but she understood that belt.
I understood what the belt meant.
Like,
I can hear that belt. And it was the sound with the jingle.
Oh yeah.
I understood that belt.
What part?
The belt buckle coming off. That still scared me a little bit. Yep, there it is. There it is. That jingle. And it was a shake to it too.
Fam.
My dad was in his 30s, fed up with 2 girls,
wrapping that bitch around your wrist.
Oh my god!
I did not know that was leverage.
Have you ever snatched your belt out of all the loops real quick? Woo! Woo!
Hey, the smartest thing I ever learned was to take that arm and wrap it. Let that bitch hit the arm. You gotta take that first blow, but as it hit it, you gotta grab it. Like,
you was taking front hits.
Hey, I had to
and wrapping it around.
Hey, no, because you know why?
The first one, it takes out the most damage.
Yeah. So the reason why,
because they only want to hit you on 2 or 3 times.
So the reason why I was taking that front hit because I had took some back hits and then had to go sit in the bathtub. I knew that plan. Like, no, nigga, let's get here. all of these it's like tattoos. If you do all of this here, I can cover these. But if you get me one good time, I rap it and we fight a little bit. Not really fight, because a black mama gonna tell you tried to fight back.
You was fighting me.
You was fighting her.
And they're gonna call everybody telling you fought her.
I wasn't. I was protecting myself.
I may or may not have been told you sleep too heavy, so you fight back, and I'm bringing it back to you.
Exactly. So you gotta wrap it and hold it for a little bit. Let it go. Keep letting it go. So by the time she get tired, it's like, all right. So I understood that. Now I did understand that belt. That belt was crazy.
Yo, you was playing Assassin's Creed
trying
to
early. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice for the big reward. It's like chess. Chess, not checkers.
What was that? Was it a fight night?
Yeah. You gotta take a couple hits to get well. To make it through it. Make it through it.
Yeah, absolutely right. Let's go ahead and take a break and come back with our song of the week, y'all.
Oh, final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
You really don't know how to do this.
No, I do know how to do it, but we ain't got no final thoughts. We're gonna do the song of the week next.
See, this is what happens when this is like the show that I'm watching. And this is the same girl host the whole time. She got a new hairstyle, and I'm like, this is not the same person.
Well, that's been the same person. I know Riz for 4 years. It's been a different person.
No, this is the first time. Yeah,
that was a full sentence right there.
What?
That.
And we're back. So I think we're gonna have to have a follow-up conversation about this, because there are two other parts to this documentary. So the first part came out, the second part comes out on the 23rd, I think. So we'll be back to talk about our genius.
Don't treat this like a fucking we spoiled it for you, because if you open your phone right now, he'll show you where he's made it.
Yeah.
If you Google Kanye West, it'll show you where he's made it.
Right.
So it's not really like a spoiler thing. It's more so like analyzing things that you like never thought about. This is how I watched this.
Like, it's just piecing it together. It's kind of like you heard different rumblings, you heard different things, and now the fact that we are in this info age that you can finally say, oh, you can piece it together. Yeah,
so my father is I've heard all of these stories. I know all of these stories. I've seen all of this. But it's also like how the interpretation that you could take it. For there's a scene in here where Kanye is playing the music in the room, and the way it's shown in the documentary is very it's amazing, because it looked like, oh, Kanye been putting his heart and soul in this music and nobody give a fuck, right? Well, nobody gives a fuck, but he been putting his heart and soul. It's all fall. Me and Bass had a conversation the other day. It's all falls down. Mm-hmm. So think about how you feel about All Falls Down now.
Yeah.
At that time, that's the same song.
No,
it wasn't produced the same, but
it's the same song.
2 words. Every time he gets into 2 words,
it's the same song then, and how you feel about it now is what they supposed to be feeling about it then, and this is how you gonna feel now, and it's how you feel in the future. Yep. But they wasn't given what you feel about these songs.
And you sitting there how do you not know?
You're
this song played on the radio station back to back when I was 13.
You bugging.
And then Wayno, shout out to Wayno, he then goes to the timeline, who worked at Rockefeller, who's in this documentary, goes, fam, he used to do this all the time. He was in there. It was all the time. Camera crew and all. Shaka didn't give a reaction. Shout out Shaka Pilgrim. She worked at Rockefeller. She was there for the important shit. She still help people now at Rock Nation. He was she didn't even have no makeup on. She didn't want to be on these cameras. She just came to work today to work. How can I give you the reaction that you think you're supposed to get? Right. This is the 10th time you've done this.
Right.
So it's all about interpretation. Yeah. So and I feel with interpretation, you gotta know what you want with your life.
And be secure in your dream. Find your support people. Exactly. Lean on your support people. Don't be afraid to run to them and say, yo, this is how I feel. Get charged up and get back out there.
Right.
So
love your people. Show your people you support them. Believe in them. And I'm pretty sure I say that like that because if I believe in you, you believe in me. So that's why I say that.
It's vice versa.
Facts.
Let's see what we got for our song of the week this week.
You are now tuned in.
You are now tuned in.
This week I got my guy out of I think Maryland. Shout out John Wells. This week we got the Back of My Mind. This song is beautiful because when you really get to it, you start thinking about stuff the way we usually think about stuff. So we about to get into it here on WMEZ.
Textually active.
We okay? All right, man. my conclusion. I need you there with me. The family cool, but I promise I will not move to that city. I need your grandma at a hop, skip and a jump. I need my Timberlands, butter like spaghetti sandwiches. I need your face whenever I wake up in the morning, just so you can smell my morning breath. I need you laughing at that line I did when I recorded that. I need to thank you for your time. Before that I was more than stressed, barely believed in God, but at this point I'm 100% sure I'm blessed. My shorty like the water in my hydro flask. The only reason I'm outside, coming out from behind the mask. The only one I'm trying to be beside after my time has passed. The reason I feel safe enough to die, which made me want to stay alive. And I bet that was the line that you started crying at. I know you like the back of my mind, so I ain't trying to act like I got other plans in mind to spend the rest of my time on this planet, unless I'm standing by your side like goddamn,
So
baby.
we linked up on Halloween, as a matter of fact, and there was some shit going on with me at the time,
We back. That was my dog John Wills. That is the back of my mind. Shout out John Wills. Somebody I believe in. He been going crazy. He doing a lot of great content. Shoot videos for himself. There's merch out there. He going crazy. Is a business, like some shit for a rapper that believe in his art. I think that's really cool, really dope. If you like that song, you want to hear it again, you know what to do. Go to your DSPs, type in Textually Active, and the WMEZ Song of the Week playlist will pop up. Apple, Tidal, Spotify. And you too can believe in yourself the way that he do here on WMEZ.
Textually active.
Don't let them people miss out on that playlist you dropped too.
Which one?
Bone Session.
Oh, that was the Valentine's thing. Oh yeah,
Was that 9? Bone Session 9?
It was Bone Session 9.
Yeah, that joint was
done got
slapping.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to, get a little frisky with your person, or you want to, take some time and set the ambiance for yourself, light a candle, heat up the lotion, heat up that jerkin in the microwave, get it warm,
and get yourself a Blacktail magazine.
You got an hour and 8 minutes to get something.
If you can't get it popping in an hour,
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, like you just like put it on repeat, I guess. Like, because I don't think. Hey, I'm 30. I don't need a hour in the morning.
Shit, man. Hopefully I can get to the damn chorus.
Nigga, it depends on what kind of song it is. If it's an old school R&B song with 3 verses, hey, I might get to that first chorus.
If it's The Dream or Chris Brown, the Dream, Trey Songz or Chris Brown, you might, it's gonna be a quick one.
Hey, all right, we've been transparent on this podcast.
Yeah.
One time I got to Neighbors Know My.
The Neighbors Know My.
Done. Ready had just came out too. It was 08. It's about 08, 09. Ready had just came out. I bet the Neighbors Know My. And that's where I got to. Yep.
That's all you need.
And I think that's like the 3rd song going.
That's hilarious. Where y'all memes at? What memes do you have for the week?
I found something on Twitter. This is an account that I found. It's pretty dope. It's called at EA the Exec.
Bro, that's your account.
I wasn't expecting that. That's good. Fire. Go for it. I like it.
All right. Don't second guess yourself. When anything or anyone doesn't align with your purpose, things have a way to correcting yourself. And basically, just don't let anyone get in the way of your genius.
That's right.
That's crazy because my meme is the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dog Wingo. Shout out to Sean, 30 hours. He said, I used to think I was working with something until I seen the girls on timeline talking about that Nelly video.
Oh my God.
Hey, I thought I was all right, but
Them girls to shut up.
hey, them girls did not appreciate that Nelly video.
I don't know what they're talking about. It wasn't like, anyway. Mine is out the window too. If you know me, you know how I drive. We're not really friends if we haven't almost died in a car together.
I like it. I always worry about you because you definitely drive in the ambiance that you set with the aux cord and that you got a brick in the back. And so I never know what the experience is going to be like with you.
Yeah. I give off the vibe that I like to drive like
you know how to take the door panel off and put them back on.
like it's something hitting behind the radio.
Yep.
Yeah. You never know who's following you home.
You got a button in that little Honda that changed the license plate. Just flip it over. You got that.
You know you gotta have the accessories in your car.
I feel like the first thing you do is look for you look for a car that let you access the trunk from that little flip down in the back.
Yep.
Double O resin over here.
All right, well, guys.
You got so many names on this podcast.
Hey, you are.
Double O resin.
Double O resin.
You're one of a kind.
Resurus.
You one of a kind.
What else did we say? Take off?
Like, this podcast wouldn't be what it is without you.
Oh my gosh, I had to tell y'all something to the listeners. If y'all remember the Air Force One story, there's more.
Yo, this
This is the nuts part about it. And if you know this story, you're going to love it.
Hey,
there's more.
Open Media team, clip this.
Please.
Get this as an extra.
Please.
So, remember that time I came on here and I told y'all when I was in elementary school, I starved for 60 days to save up my lunch money so that I could buy some Air Force Ones.
And stole her sister's lunch money too.
Bro, they were black Air Force Ones.
You better bundle up.
If that don't scream Resurus, this is like 2000, bro. Like,
Yeah, she told me that. I'm talking about like
We was over. I told them this over waffles. We were eating waffles. I'm like, yo,
I lost
it just came to me.
you was thinking about stealing it.
It was black. It was black Air Force, and I have a picture of them. I have to go home and find it, but I have a picture of me in them.
And you know she bought them 2 sizes too big.
Sure did.
So you could wear them for.
Feet was the biggest part of all my body.
So you can wear them for
You
a
know,
while.
I look like the skinny tall one on the Gross Sisters. That's what I look like in them.
That's for black ones, though. Hey,
Nasty.
I shoot her some bail. I don't know where the black ones got this bad rap, though.
I don't know either.
Like at the time, the black
They were
ones
cool.
cool.
Nah, the black
I
ones
shoot
was
you some bail.
solid.
I don't know where they got
Listen,
this bad rap.
And the thing is, in this whole, first of all, and I forgot about this one thing. I'm gonna get back to this. At the end of the day, you grow up and you realize the stuff that you did was just not it.
True.
And the black Air Force Ones just ain't it.
Because they look way worse when they fucked up than the white ones do. The white ones just look dirty. The white ones just look dirty. The black ones look like that leather couch that you done had since 1995, and it's been ripped and cripped, and it's got.
And since black people think nobody can see
it's got tiger stripes. The Air Force Ones have tiger stripes on them.
So I don't think we talked about. We're basically done, but I don't think we talked about Mitchell and Ness today, did we?
No. Shout out the whole deal.
Right, but what I wanted to be understood, right? That Jay-Z bought Mitchell and Ness, right?
I like to say it like that because I like to be black, but I want to be truthful.
But no. Forget the truth. I just want to get down to the brass tacks here, right? Over the last 2 decades, Jay-Z told us to change clothes and get rid of the jerseys, and now he's telling us to get back in them.
Over there, a lot of shit he told us not to do and then ended up doing it himself. That nigga told us not to, I would never drink vodka and it not be puff shit. You know what I'm saying? And then sold half of Ace of Spade to Hennessy. He told, like, the moves he's made in the last 2 years has been a lot of, like, I would never. Like, this nigga own title. Guess who own part of it now? Twitter. Like, the nigga own, like, it's a lot of things. Black owned shit don't always have to be black owned. They could be partially black owned.
It's okay.
With white funding.
It's about to level up, though, so we appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening to this episode.
This nigga tried to have us with fucking suit vest and button ups and jeans. Like,
with cufflinks.
Like, this nigga had us in button ups and fitted
Slugs.
And he's
big ass button ups with that big ass cuff.
Yeah. With jeans.
Don't be surprised when the NASCAR jackets come back.
At least he didn't have y'all in fedoras.
I know, no, but him and Kanye had us in them nasty ass infinity scars.
Oh my God.
You remember that era?
Yes, that was nasty. Anywho, thank you all for listening to this episode of Sexually Active. We'll be back next Tuesday. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share it with a friend if you haven't already. We drop episodes every Tuesday at 6 a.m. We'll be back next Tuesday. Bye, y'all.
Peace.
Sexually active.